Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 12th annual Art Lives Here silent auction, and not so silent auction anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm Bill Payne. I'm here with Louise Grape.
Hi, everybody.
Louise is our executive director and, of course, our founder of Hirsch Wellness Network. I'm on the board here and chair of the the events committee, I guess is the right term.
That's right.
And so we've been putting this whole piece together. Louise and I had a clash in the hallway just a few minutes ago when we realized we've been working on this process for over 3 months now to be able to bring you the live stream tonight and show you all of the amazing art that we've collected and talk about Hirsch Wellness Network and the work that we do in the community. We're delighted to have you here tonight. We hope that you have made it over to the bid site and that you have found pieces of art that you have to have. We're going to spend a great deal of time in the gallery here. By the way, we're at Revolution Mill. Great friends of ours and supporters. That's where our main offices are located.
The 1250 building. Of course, guests cannot be here tonight, but we have an incredible crew, broadcast to go, and a handful of Hirsch people, and some guest appearances and surprises tonight.
And a lot of music. We've got a lot of music. In
which,
fact, Sam Fraser walked in just a few minutes ago.
He's here.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So we're going to do great with that. We're going to be switching back and forth between a couple of live artists who are in another room. We'll walk over there and see them in just a few minutes. We'll have a couple of live interviews with some of our board members and friends of Hirsch. We'll be rolling some tape from interviews that we collected over the last several months.
To help tell the story, to help tell why we're here tonight.
Exactly.
For Hirsch. So we have community leaders, artists, our instructors at Hirsch, and various other people to speak to why this is so important, why our cause is so important.
So the first thing we should talk about is the art that's right behind us.
Right.
Do you know the artist for this? I guess I could read it.
I do. This is Sigrid Kenny, and this is a little showstopper. I guess it's a big showstopper, really. It's a beautiful, beautiful handmade quilt that she donated. And I just want to say we have 130 artists who've donated over 200 things, and they donate these items as gifts. So there's no percentage that goes back to the artist because they choose to do it as a gift, and we're so honored to receive these incredible works. We've got paintings, textiles, ceramics.
Photography.
There's photography. It just goes on. Sculpture, three-dimensional art, jewelry. And these are really amazing artists who are local and regional, and some are from faraway places. So
I was talking to a
honored.
friend the other day, and he said, well, how much do you pay for the art that you auction? And I said, pay? This is all from our friends.
And one thing I'll mention is if you're on the website, the bidding site that is, go into the details, go into the bidding details, because we ask every artist to tell us, one, what is your inspiration for the art that you create? Two, why do you donate to Hirsch? There's so many great causes. Just here in Greater Greensboro, I mean, there's tons of really good work going on, and we're so honored to have these gifts of art. So go into those details because you'll be blown away with the stories and what we do for cancer patients here in the community. You'll find that many artists are touched by cancer, and of course, many of you out there are as well touched. And so the work that we do is helping people in an incredible way, and we'll talk some more about that and share some stories.
I wanted to talk about a couple of the ceramic pieces here in the woodworking. I see one by my very good friend, Jeff Wayman.
Oh, yeah.
This beautiful piece here.
It is great. That's 509. We're going to help you with the numbers, so you can quickly scroll your fingers to the artwork on the bid site. And that's a hand-carved
Louise,
walnut.
he's hand-tooled the back side
It
here.
is.
Look
It's
at
incredible. That's great to see the back.
Fantastic.
Jeff
Fantastic.
Wayman is wonderful. He's a friend of yours too, Bill. I know that.
Out in the Summerfield, Brown Summit
Yes.
area. Great guy. Great guy.
Yes. Wonderful.
Hey, here's Jack Stratton.
Jack Stratton has
He's
just walked in.
Come here, Jack.
We're delighted to have him joining us. Jack, air hugs, right?
Hey, buddy.
We're social distancing. We just want you all to know that we are very careful about how we present tonight and that we're keeping everyone safe. So Bill and I are the distance. We're choosing to try to be on camera without our masks, but we have our signature Hirsch masks made by one of our participants, so you'll see people wearing these, and we'll get ours on in just a moment.
I'm going to hand my microphone over to Jack for a second.
Sure.
There you go, bud. Thank you for coming. Yay.
Thank you for...
Jack, let's find your piece.
Oh,
and can we
I'm
go
way over
talk
there.
about it?
Sure.
Guys, we can roll over there?
Oh, I see it from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pretty small, but I mean, it's a small thing.
It's so beautiful, Jack. Thank you for being here tonight. It's called Lightning Bug. And guys, it's right here. It's awesome. Jack, tell us about the inspiration, or I know you said you did a series of these.
You know, this summer, just being, isolated at home with Sarah Jane,
Yeah.
lightning bugs came out.
Yeah.
And so I started drawing them and painting them. I actually did a number of paintings of lightning bugs, but I slowly got smaller and smaller. It's such a small thing.
Yeah.
Even there, it's such a small
But they look so big when they're
thing.
lit up. Like I can see them. I live in the country. I look out the window from my bed and it just looks like that.
It seems like an obvious thing to paint, and you never see paintings of lightning bugs. So I thought, well, I'm going to do
You're
something.
going to do some. Well, I think it's gotten quite a few bids, and I think it's exactly what people need to see right now and to feel. It promotes an energy of freedom and childhood, and I think it goes to a place that makes you feel good. And one of the things I'm thinking about that a lot of the artists have commented on in the details sections is that the making of art is very therapeutic, but the viewing of art and the owning of the art is also therapeutic. So there's really two sides to that.
It's kind of a shared experience.
It's a shared
thing.
experience.
And the experience of a lightning bug is more what I'm trying to do than to actually document.
Yeah. I want to be a lightning bug.
Well, I mean, you can document it, and it can be, oh, that doesn't look like your hands. That looks like that person's hands.
Yeah.
That's not really what I was trying to do. I was really just trying to get the idea of what that was like.
You caught a moment.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
kind of cool but warm.
Is it oil?
That's an oil painting, yeah.
Beautiful. It's lovely, the way you've captured light, and just, I love that the hands show the night sky on the backs of the hands, and the arms are kind of the blue, like it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So I
Well,
hope
thank you.
I hope that everyone watching the live stream can now have a whole new look at that painting, as I hope tonight when we talk about other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack, you're the best. Thank you.
Joe Leeds' watercolor of the angel is pretty awesome, too.
Yes, it is. I don't know Joe. Do you?
I do. I don't think she's doing really well now. I think
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what her situation is.
Okay. That was actually a gift from Bill Sherrill's collection. And so that was a very generous gift. He has a lot of beautiful things, and he wanted to share that with us at Hirsch, so that was really great.
She used to teach watercolor painting at UNCG.
Oh, good
So,
to
but
know.
it
Another
was-
UNCG
It was
artist
actually
and
before I
instructor.
went there.
Okay.
So I'm talking like 60s or
Okay,
something, but-
super, super. Great.
Hey, Jack, can we borrow that microphone for a
There you
minute?
go.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Nice work. I should mention also that Jack and a friend, Lori Key, hung this entire show. And this is the 9th year that you've hung the show, I think? 8th year? Fantastic.
I think it's been every year for Jack.
Wow, 12 so far.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank
We're
you so
lucky.
much for your work.
This has actually been in a gallery, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
We started out in a gallery,
Yes, we did.
and then we were in places that weren't galleries, and we
Right.
were turning them into galleries.
That's right.
And now we're back.
We're back in a great room.
Yeah, we're fortunate. Revolution Mill has been an incredible partner, and this is where the Hirsch Center lives. So we're here on the first floor, just around the corner from where, during good times, I guess you would say, we would have people in the classroom every week taking classes, and now they're all online, which is great. We're fortunate to be able to do that. But this is our home.
Yeah. And we're going to kick over right now to some
Okay.
interviews that we did earlier
Oh,
with a group
super.
of board members, artists, supporters of Hirsch.
Okay.
We're going to roll into that for a few
Okay.
minutes, and then we're going to come back and do a little bit of music
Well,
with
let's
Sam
take
Fraser.
a look at that too, Bill.
Okay, we'll do that. We're ready to go to that, I think.
Thank you.
Ready, thanks.
My dad was diagnosed with kidney cancer, I would say maybe 10 years ago, and it was early detected, so his kidney was removed and he did not have to have any late treatments, and he's doing well. With that said, my mom was diagnosed with liver cancer in February, so I personally have been experiencing some of the challenges that many people, face day to day with trying to navigate through, through the illness.
Well, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2002, and that was 18 years ago. I found it myself, went right to the doctor, had the biopsy, and within a week I was having a lumpectomy and a sentinel node biopsy, and then I was on a pill a day for 5 years. I had to take some other drug to quell my estrogen production because I was pretty young. And at 5 years, they told me I was a cure and I need never come back. And I said, okay, good, I'm never coming back.
Well, the classic that you get that call, everything's fine until you get that call from the doctor. And it affects you beyond what you can be taught in advance. I mean, there really aren't a lot of experiences that are like that. I mean, it's like all the cliches that people say, the bottom falls out. You can't hear anything, you can't see anything, you can't think of anything. So it's as difficult and as devastating as people say. Yeah, it just kind of comes out of nowhere.
I am a cancer survivor myself, prostate cancer, and I'm 7 years out from my treatment, and just getting ready to turn 67 and feeling pretty good. And I owe quite a bit of it to Hirsch.
My mother actually 10 years ago was diagnosed with breast cancer, postmenopausal, and it's kind of scary to sort of go through, but she's fine, 10 years cancer-free.
My mom has had a couple bouts of it, but it's been in a small way. But I've had distant relatives, and I had lost a cousin, and so not real close, but close enough to know that it's just, a nightmare of a disease.
When I was 27, my elder sister passed. She was not quite 40. And, that always changes the whole family dynamic. So it really affected my parents, it really affected our whole family. It was a life-changing event for all of us. And then shortly thereafter, my dad contracted cancer, and he lived for a number of years, and they were able to treat it for a while, and so, but we, there again, we knew the inevitability of it, so we kind of lived under cancer for a number of years. So
it's still part and parcel of your life. Your cancer experience stays as part of your humanity. So even though it's in the past, it's still what you experience, and something that's very much part of you in a way that's actually a very caring part of who you are as a person. And so to still be welcome in this community is very meaningful to me. I felt very welcome. I remember Louise almost laughed, like, what? And that's important to me because who knows but what cancer will enter my life again in the future, of perhaps somebody I love or care for, not just myself. But also, I think it's important that Hirsch can communicate that embrace of community can be a long-term thing and also expands into the community more. So it just became comfortable to jump back in.
That was great stuff. You saw Tom Woods in that, and we'll see him live doing some art for us in just a few minutes. Art Lives Here has a long history of involving our local musician friends, and right now, excuse me, I'd like to throw it over to Sam Frazier, one of our good buds, who is going to do a tune for us live from the other end of the building. We'll be back in just a second. Go ahead, Sam. Thank you.
If the water in this wishing well was almost crystal clear, then another path you beat from home is a shortcut back next year. If a single splash can send a wish rippling through the atmosphere, I'll be skipping coins to you. on your shoulders. They're whispering in your ear. If your demons get too personal and need some more to fear from you, you're always welcome here. Rippling through the atmosphere, we spread the best memories around. Welcome here, and we melt the rest down. 'Cause no nest of souvenirs can fill this empty room till I raise a cheer to you. Rippling through the atmosphere, here's to you. Rippling through the atmosphere, here's to you.
Greensboro's own Sam Frazier. We had a funny laugh a while back. I and two friends of mine discovered we were all taking lessons from Sam at the same time. It was a great moment. You with us?
Yes.
So we're here now in the center part of the 1250 building, where we actually have a couple of artists working on pieces that you can bid on. And Louise, I'd like for you to introduce
Sure.
Ludmilla, if you don't mind. I'll step away.
These are the artists that we have been talking about who were willing to come and do live art, and it's so exciting. They've been here since 4:30, and Ludmilla Tomova is here. She lives in Cary. And Tom Woods, who many of you know from Greensboro, is an illustrator, graphic designer. He's a musician. You name it, he's got it all. We love Tom. And so they were gracious to come and join us tonight. And they, at 4:30, they came with a blank sheet of paper and a blank canvas. And they got started, and it's been a treat to watch these pieces come to life. So, Ludmilla, this is Abundance Fairy, is that correct? I mean, tell us a little bit about her. I think she's incredible.
Oh, thank you. Well, Abundance Fairy basically will be representing abundance and everything that we wish to have. So she will be very close to nature. It's almost like a nature goddess.
Yes.
So she will have flowers
Yeah.
and fruits. It will be kind of very expressive.
I love it. I
painting.
mean, I can already see that. Just the look on her face is beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
you're working, this is oil paints or?
Oil.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is oil. Great.
Yeah.
And the technique that you're using with the scratching off, tell me about that.
The scratching is creating some texture.
Yeah.
And I usually use this tool, very interesting tool that
Oh,
it's kind of
sure, it's like a
rubbery.
pottery tool.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So I just scratch around and put my basic drawing in a very impressionistic way.
Yeah.
So it's very easy and it does create
Beautiful.
this nice texture and
Yeah.
lines.
So you'll keep
I love this.
layering and you're.
Thank you.
I know, I love her. Oh, she's looking right at me, Bill.
Oh.
So point
I'll make
being,
her look happier. a little bit.
she is ready for a home soon. So when you go on our bid site, look for Ludmilla's name and her
Spelled
photo.
L-Y.
L-Y-U-D-M-I-L-A, Ludmilla. And you can start bidding. I think there's already some bids on it. There was a bid when it was a blank canvas.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And there's a bid on Tom's from when it was a blank
right.
sheet of
That's
paper.
great. Good
So
to know.
clearly you have fans. You both have fans out there who just know.
That's awesome.
So,
Let's go talk to Tom for a second.
yeah, Ludmilla,
Thank
thank
you,
you. We'll
Ludmilla.
come back.
so much for inviting me.
Oh,
I'm really honored. Thank you.
well, we're honored to
Oh.
have you. Thank you.
I saw
Thank
the
you.
white canvas come in about 2 hours ago, and I thought,
Yeah.
ooh,
She's got to get busy.
Tom, what are you doing?
Here, hold that. Well, I mean, I'm doing every year I've done these sort of stream of consciousness drawings, and
I love
I
it.
normally like will take this is the original.
Oh, yeah.
That's the original sketchbook doodle.
Yeah, I love it.
That something about it made me wanted to work it up into a more final piece, so I redrew it, and so I worked on the drawing beforehand. It wasn't a totally blank canvas.
Yeah.
But
Well, you have to start from your idea, and you make notes. I see it says something about inventress.
This is it was my work sketchbook. So,
Yeah.
So it was the book that would accompany me to meetings and stuff, and so a lot of times in meetings I doodle, and in the margins, and
I wish my doodles looked like that.
Well, this
So.
well, thank you, but this
Yes.
is heavily reworked.
Yes.
So,
I love it.
thank
It's
you.
great.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Thanks.
So we'll talk some more. I'm seeing a lot of
Is this
things
one-
that I'm going to
this
have
one's available for
questions
bid
about.
also now, right?
Absolutely. Look for
Okay.
Tom Woods in the live art section. Tom, thanks so much. It's just fun to see you're starting with pen and ink, and then actually you started with pencil, I guess, from pencil to now
Cool.
pen and ink. Awesome. Thank you. We'll be back.
I think
All right.
Sam was queuing up for another tune.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. There he is.
There he is.
Okay.
Can we go over there?
Yeah.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for being here. Oh, thanks. Good to see you. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very nice. Very good.
Well, you sound great, as always.
Play us a
Yeah.
tune.
Yeah. Bill said play us a tune.
Oh, it's time?
Yep.
Is it time?
Time to
Okay.
go.
Here he goes.
Tell mother it's cold, it's gonna get colder. I'm used to the frost and the winter chill. I'm getting old, but I'm not getting older. I paid the cost, tell mother I will. Tell mother the world is losing the battle, and I'll be the one to finish the fight. The flag is unfurled with a shake and a rattle. No daughters or sons, but mother is light. Tell mother, stranger and friend, sister and brother. Again, tell mother when you get to the end. Love one another while you still can. Love one another while you still can. Love one another. Tell mother, stranger and friend, sister and brother. Again, tell mother when you get to the don't feel the frost or the winter chill. You're not so old, but you're not getting older. You pay the cost, tell mother I will.
Sam Frazier, thank you so much for that
I
fabulous tune.
know.
He's great.
He
I
is
love him.
so great. We've known him for years, haven't we? He's a
Coming
good
up
friend.
next is Lynn Kuntz, who's
Oh,
just
yes.
released a new CD.
Yes, she has. And in fact, in the mailbox today, I pulled something out. I thought, well, I didn't order anything from Amazon. It's my T-shirt from Lynn Kuntz
Oh, you
for
lucky
having
person.
done her Kickstarter. I was like, ooh, I could be wearing that tonight.
Cool, 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 cool.
Yes.
We wanted to talk about some more art, and we've moved over to another area of the gallery. Let's focus on the wall here. Tell us a little bit about Mavis Liggett's piece here.
Well, Mavis Liggett has been working with us at Hirsch for at least 6 years. She's one of our artists in residence. And this piece was inspired by COVID. And so some of the figures are wearing masks, and it's called Together Apart 2020. And Mavis is so talented. She works in several different mediums. And if you, again, go to the details section on the bid site, you will see her words, but I want to share with you what she says about why she donates to Hirsch Wellness. She says, I donate a painting every year to Hirsch. As a cancer survivor myself, I recognized years ago while undergoing treatment that the creative process played a big role in my overall well-being and ultimately my survival. Hirsch Wellness programs promote creativity in individuals touched by cancer. Being a part of this organization and supporting Hirsch in various ways are an important part of who I am today. And I think it's just a really strong piece, and I love it. It's
That's
number
wonderful.
148.
Together
and
Apart 2020.
Together Apart 2020.
The one right under it.
Yeah, Leanne Pizio. She's also donated every year. Leanne has taught for us. She's a multimedia artist. She paints, she does ceramics, she does paper crafts. She's just amazing. And Leanne and I, you probably don't know this, we were at UNCG studying ceramics together.
I didn't know that.
Back in the 90s. And
Back when the clay was very fresh.
the clay was very fresh, but that's when we got to be friends.
Cool.
And I'm fortunate to have her as my friend all these years. She's so talented. But Bill, in this area, I think what we wanted to kind of highlight are some of the textiles that are just incredible. Deb Bartz.
Is it okay if I pick these up?
Yeah, Deb Bartz, she is just such a craftswoman. Her work is so detailed and incredible. And she has been a hat maker as well. I will say I have some bids on that, and I have a feeling I'm outbid now.
You may have been outbid.
I need to make a phone call, get somebody bidding on that for me.
Here's a scarf by
Yes,
Judy also.
Judy Mager, who is also a textile designer, and she creates all these designs and patterns, and that's on a silk scarf. She has two pieces in the show. So 302 is one, and you'll just have to, the other one is right nearby probably, as well as Donna Gibbs. She's a weaver, and that's a beautiful scarf. She as well has
Wow.
two pieces in the show. And you know, Bill, going back to the beginnings of Art Lives Here, Lynn and David Gibbs hosted this event for years at their gallery, and Donna, I believe, is David and Lynn's daughter, is David's daughter. So, yes.
I should have
So we're
recognized
just
that.
honored to have her work in the show.
There's another great scarf or a quilt over here
Yes.
by one of our board members.
Yes, Andrina Stoddard Coleman. Let's hold this up, Bill, because I think the pictures on the site don't do it justice. It's beautiful. Yes, let's get it straight. Let's get it right side up. There we go. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really beautiful. And let's show the back side as well so people can see that. Yeah, it's wonderful. She's so talented, and we're fortunate to have her on our board. She does.
Administrator at Bennett.
She is, and we're lucky to have her on our board, like we said.
Yep.
That's great.
Other pieces here, Dot Blue.
Dot Blue,
One note.
alias Janet Schaefer. I'm going to give her up right
This is
here.
Janet?
This is Janet.
Of course.
And she does wonderful folk art type work, and I love that piece.
That's fantastic.
And you know, Bill, here are her words. If you, again, go to 146, and she says, I choose to donate to Hirsch for many reasons. Since having cancer, my husband Eric and I have been bolstered and rejuvenated by the various offerings at Hirsch and the array of classes to both survivors and caregivers. And so at the programs people are talking about is the healing arts programs that we do at Hirsch Wellness Network, and for 12 years we've been offering painting classes, ceramics, a lot of the things that you see here tonight, photography, and patients in treatment, survivors of any length of time, and caregivers, folks who have cared for someone, come to these classes. And really what happens is profound. It's kind of like we were talking about with Ludmilla. It's a blank canvas, and what happens from there is the power of the creative process, and that process is a healing place.
You know, the other piece of that, I think, is the communication between the people in the classes.
Yes,
it's a safe
community.
environment. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people come to Hirsch and say, oh, I'm not creative and I don't do art. Well, wouldn't you know, they come to a couple classes and I'm like, you are so talented. People, it happens often.
It has to flow out.
Yeah, somehow people are told they aren't creative, and everyone is.
Right.
Everyone can tap into that place, and especially going through trauma or cancer treatment and caring for someone. Those are challenging times, and with COVID, it's extra challenging. So
the other part of that is the instructors that we have, and I should say that the art is free, but we actually pay all of our instructors. We believe in that very strongly, that they need to be supported too.
It's a full circle. You're right, Bill.
But they're able to pull that together with the classes. I think we get really high compliments from a lot of folks for the level of our instruction that goes on.
You know, we, from the beginning, we decided it's real art. We buy real art supplies. The money you're helping us raise at this auction pays for supplies. It pays now for us to be mailing kits to every participant so that they can take our classes on Zoom. We are strictly on Zoom. We have not come back to in-person programs yet. We have people who are compromised, and we choose to wait till things are safer. So the money pays for instruction, supplies, all of the work that we do to coordinate and register
the Zoom
people.
licenses, all that stuff, yeah.
The Zoom license, my gosh.
All that stuff. Woo. So we're going to take a break here for just a second and go to a video that we recorded a few weeks ago with some more board members being asked a specific question by one of our board members, Molly Haley.
Molly, wonderful.
Yep. So we'll go to that now. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
When you're focused on your work and you're feeling good about what you're doing, it's a sense of accomplishment that I don't get and well-being that I don't get through any other activity, not through physical activity or you know, and it's very personal. It's very focused. It's very centering for your mind. You lose track of time. You lose track of anything usually outside of what you're working on. So I don't, you know, there's a wholeness about it that you feel with yourself that, like I say, you don't get from any other pursuit.
If you ever do art, then you'll know, because what it does for you, it makes you forget anything in terms of pain. It makes you feel like a human being. And I think that's what Hirsch does, is they reach down and they touch people because they're able to create and forget about everything else for a while. So I think it's just an incredible organization, and people are kind of amazed when I talk about it.
I have quite a few girlfriends who have had breast cancer, and as a matter of fact, the other day I had one of my friends who's going through the breast cancer journey now. She is an artist, and she told me on several occasions how much art helps her and how therapeutic it is for her, and how it kind of brings her to a whole different level, gets her mind off of her troubles, off of her family and what she's going through.
They're on the cancer journey, and there's pain, there's emotion. The medical stuff is taken care of, But the creative process is one of, I think, the most valuable ways of reaching people's soul and their mind, their emotions. And it's not about what you create, it's about traveling through the process of creating, and you forget about yourself. And our instructors allow you to forget about everything and just do.
But what I found is that Hirsch allows you to get lost so that you can kind of do that inward journey and find the words to explain your feelings. Because I think the hurdle is once you can put a word to your feeling, you can kind of manage it or understand it better. And I think that's where Hirsch is so good.
The healing that I experienced through the art of Zentangle was what spurred me on to want to share it with others. It's just because we have this process that we go through, this 8-step process, that when it becomes like a meditation, and a lot of you will be familiar with how much meditation helps. Art can be that same type of meditative experience, and it's just been a real blessing to me to combine meditation with art, to get into that Zentangle zone, I call it, and just flow, and to be able to share that with the participants has just been a real blessing to me to continue my own healing through that.
Sitting down, standing up, whatever, taking art materials into your hands, dealing with it physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, takes you away from whatever it is that you're dealing with. And I believe that that's what people bring to the table, so to speak, in these classes. It takes you away from the challenges that you're faced with.
There was a 2-year-old boy in my daughter's preschool class, and he was tragically killed in his front yard by a runaway car, and it was in front of all of his brothers and sisters. And excuse me, we created a mural at the preschool, and I invited all of his siblings to create a little piece of the mural, and I helped them paint it in the mural. And after we were finished, the oldest daughter, who witnessed the whole thing happen, her mother came and said that she hadn't cried until after she painted the piece on the wall, and the counselor that they'd been talking to said that it was just a cathartic event for her, and it really helped.
Because I've been painting for 50 years, I have that as my solace, as my empowering connection to like the world, because I've been doing it all this time. You know, the therapeutic power of art is that you can do something, and this something can be empowering. If you can make an image of something, say your cancer, say you want to do a painting of your cancer, you know, okay. That's not wasted time. You will learn something there. Plus, you will also realize that once you've put it down on paper, you've got power over it. It becomes just an emblem of something. It's outside of you. It's not you. You're not your cancer. Wellness is something you have a lack of. It's wellness you need, not cancer you need to get rid of so much, but wellness you need to bring in. And I think art shows you that in a fundamental way. But if you have that you can, it's empowering because you can channel yourself through it.
The process of art allows you to bring from inside out to something tangible, whatever it is, whether it's fiber arts or painting or writing or body manipulation with yoga and Tai Chi. What is happening inside is allowed to come out. And frequently what happens in the process of art, in my experience and when I listen to other people talk, is you don't always know what's in there. And when it arrives out, you are as shocked and startled as anyone around you.
So it's a release. I think that art is a release of tension, of fear, and of confusion, of all of those things. And when you do it, and when you finish your piece, or you finish the time, and you sit back, you have a sense of ease that's different.
There's a quote from the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas. What's inside of you, if you do not bring it forth, will kill you. And I've often thought that artwork has a lot to do with that. So that, like, even if it's not conscious, if there's some pain or some struggle inside, to get it out, it frees you.
I really feel that creative spark, no matter if it's a painter or a writer or a musician, it's that time when you get into your own creativity that it's a healing space, because you're not thinking about, oh, I have chemo tomorrow, or I have a radiation treatment. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about this creative thing you're doing. And so it's a very stress-free place to be. And so I think part of my surviving was losing my job and being able to fully embrace my creative spirit.
Hi, friends. We're back here at the gallery again, and Molly Hiley is here with me, and I'm so delighted that she popped in. Molly has been one of our instructors for, we were just saying, about 6 years. Mm-hmm. She is a writer, and she has been teaching our Writing to Heal class, where just some amazing things happen in that class.
I think I say every month now to the participants, I hope you know this is my favorite day of the month, because I can prepare things, but I never know what the participants are going to create. Right. And it's always beautiful and profound, right, moving. And the rest of the day I'm on clouds after spending time with our Hirsch writers.
Well, you create scenarios for people so that I think people don't feel like they have to come and perform and get something on paper. Right. And I think the prompts that you provide allow people to think about life. And you know, while we're talking about cancer and we're talking about treatment and challenging times, really what we do here at Hirsch is we're talking about life, and we're talking about beauty, and how do we reclaim our lives. So what happens in your writing class often is that, and people leave feeling so great because they've listened to each other and they've explored some things. And this little project that we're standing in front of is a project that we wanted to bring with COVID, because we were talking as a group that, wow, you know, if cancer patients are already isolated and home, now you can't even bring someone to treatment with you, and it's really, really challenging. So I wanted to know, what does home mean to us now? So we put together a template and a packet, and we mailed it out to about 50 people, and we included a box so that they could send these back. We've received over 30. So the prompt was, you know, what does home mean to you now? So Molly and I are just going to share a couple of these, and just the amazing three-dimensional quality of some of these pieces. And again, Lori Key did a phenomenal job of creating this little village. And each one of these has a story. And so we asked people, thinking about Molly and her writing class, we asked everyone to express, well, what did it mean to create this work of art using tools, supplies from your home? We sent them literally a template on a piece of paper. So here's one that I thought was absolutely beautiful. Where do I hang my hat? Home is a sense of place, away from time, where we can celebrate our source and keep our stuff and dwell in both our sleeping and waking life. Home is a place to collaborate and love and pass time entertaining or hiding, going inside for rest and regeneration. Traditions are born here and prodigals return here. Best to knock first, but you are always welcome home.
Oh, I love that.
Beautiful. I know,
These are
that's
just amazing,
gorgeous.
and it's so fun to see what each person did. Some people you can see enjoyed the 3D aspect of it. Other people,
Right.
and I was thinking, because I'm not a painter or an artist in this way.
That's a
I was
Zen
thinking
tangle,
I would
right?
love. Oh my gosh, that's amazing!
It's beautiful.
I love how people played with words, and I was thinking, I think I could have fun with that. The
Yes.
words.
And look at this one, they had paint chips, and the roof is made of paint chips. There's a panel that shows the world feeling inside your home, but maybe distant or connected to the world. All of the family members that you're thinking about.
Beautiful.
And
Here's one that
Outer
portrays
space.
home during COVID as feeling a little imprisoned, which is what's been amazing about our Zoom classes, is we can
Yes.
still be together and connect. Despite, especially for people going through
Right.
cancer and caregivers, they cannot take any risk with their
One of our
immune suppression.
participants said that Hirsch removes the veil of isolation because if you're not feeling well, you can still attend a class. You don't have to get in the car. You could be in your bed and Zooming with us. You can listen. So, awesome.
This is an incredible project. I'm so inspired.
and there's more coming in, and we're going to continue this project. Thank you, Bill, for the reminder. We're about to break away from our conversation here, and Lynn Kuntz is ready to roll. She'll be performing maybe one of her new songs. Let's hope so. So we'll be cutting to her in just a couple of moments. Is that right,
Keep
guys?
bidding.
Yes.
Bobby was a barber, some 50 years or more. He came back home to that river town after fighting in the war. All his Navy medals hung above his chair, hid the untold story he never used to share. A young soldier came into his shop on a Friday afternoon, found himself unraveling his life since Camp Lejeune. All the ways he struggled for a peace since he'd come home. Bobby nodded in the mirror, said, "Son, you're not alone." He said, "The river is inside you, the current always flows, just changes her direction when pushed against the stones. As all questions find their answers with a little faith in time. The river can teach you how to heal your troubled mind." Bobby became a friend, like a father to the man. Countless conversations helped him understand that no matter what he'd seen or what he had been through, you can make it through the water when someone believes in you. He said, "The river is inside you, the current always flows, just changes her direction when pushed against the stones. As all questions find their answers with a little faith in time. The river can teach you how to heal your troubled mind." And in that tiny town, people never change. When they laid him in the ground, everybody came. Bobby's legacy lives on now in the wisdom the young man shares, while he listens to the stories of the soldiers. He said, "The river is inside you, the current always flows, just changes her direction when pushed against the stones. As all questions find their answers with a little faith in time. The river can teach you how to heal your troubled mind. river can teach you how to heal your troubled mind.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lynn Kuntz. That's fantastic. We'll come back to her in just a few minutes. We wanted to check in with the folks who are doing live art for us right now. Tom Woods, tell us what you got. Where are we now?
Well, I'm trying to fill a lot of space. Basically.
That's what we all do.
Yeah. So I'm just, filling every nook and cranny, and then I'll probably go in and start to make marks, just
to give the detail.
To give some detail.
Yeah, fantastic. You started on this just a couple hours ago?
Well, I actually worked on the drawing previous, and then had sketched it in pencil previous to this, and then started inking it here.
Okay,
here, so.
Fantastic. So finished result is pencil with pen and ink on top of it, I guess.
The pencil will disappear because I'll erase it as I go. It's just I'm using it as a guide, going in and making the marks just to kind of give myself an idea of how I want them to go. A lot of times if you're doodling, it doesn't really matter. You're just in the moment. You're doing very gestural marks. But when I'm trying to make it more polished, I'll go in and kind of work the marks.
Do the finish.
Do the finish.
Fantastic.
Give myself a plan.
Get busy. Get busy. Okay, we're going to go look at Ludmila's piece for just a second. Thank you, Tom. Hello. Wow. Wow. It is. It's definitely getting there. I love it.
Fall. Isn't she great? This is Mavis Liggett. She's one of our instructors and a painter here. And I know that you're just taken with Ludmila's work coming to life.
It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, and painting under duress like this. I mean, not like there's huge crowds to intimidate you.
But there's bidders out there waiting, knowing.
That's right.
That's right. There's no pressure. No pressure.
I'm enjoying the process.
Oh.
Right now I'm just adding more detail, and I'm very expressive in my painting.
Yeah. Well, you do murals
Lovely.
as well, right? Yes, I know that you do like city murals.
I did a few for the boarded businesses in Raleigh. I did one for the juvenile detention center.
Yeah.
It's really very, very interesting. It's in Fayetteville, so it's a huge mural. But
Yes,
yeah,
I
I'm
saw
everywhere.
those, and you can see those online. I think Kateri sent me some photos, or there was a link to an article about you doing those.
Yes, in Walter magazine.
It was great. Oh,
Thank
just
you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yeah, it's been
inspiring.
a lot of fun lately. It's getting
You're a busy lady.
I am.
This is fabulous. For our folks watching at home,
Yes.
camera lady, could you do us a favor? Do a 360. This is, we're in the middle of the 1250 building at Rev Mill, and turn right, turn that camera right. I want to see the production crew.
Yeah, there they are. Broadcast to
So we are
go.
graced today with Broadcast to Go and Piedmont Audio, who are helping us out on the whole package. It takes a village to get all of this stuff done.
Yeah, we're just so
Fantastic.
fortunate to have them producing this with us.
Speaking of taking a village, we were going to talk
Yes.
for a second about Cone Hospital,
Yes.
and we have an interview on tape with Matt that we need to
Yes.
talk about.
Dr. Matt Manning is Chief of Oncology at Cone Health Cancer Center, and he told me a while back that he also made art, and I said, well, sounds like you need to continue doing so. But he's a really great guy. He's an incredible doctor, and Hirsch has had an artist in residence program at Cone Health, which has been suspended due to COVID, but we have some plans in the works to bring some virtual programs to patients while they have chemo. So we've got some things in the hopper to get that started back up. But so Dr. Manning, his pre-recorded
He has.
segment is coming up right now.
Great.
Super. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matt Manning. I'm the Chief of Oncology for Cone Health, and I oversee care at multiple cancer centers across our network. We offer state-of-the-art treatments for cancer, including state-of-the-art surgical approaches, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and even precision health tools. Through all of these treatments to treat a patient's cancer, we don't address all of their needs. Healing Arts helps our patients to address additional needs and express their humanity through other methods. Our partnership with Hirsch Wellness Network allows us to provide patients with an opportunity to express themselves through their art, through healing motion, and in other nonverbal ways. We find that adding this additional form of expression for patients aids in their healing process and guides them along their journey. There is research that shows that healing arts can improve medical health. And in doing so, we think that Hirsch Wellness Network helps our patients do better. So we support Hirsch Wellness Network, and we hope that you will too.
Hey, we're back live again. Thank you very much to Cone for their incredible support for us for the last several years. Hey, Louise, come over here. And Molly, I'm going to ask you to come in also.
Yeah.
I'm going to hand you my microphone so that you and Louise can talk about the art that's here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Louise, can you please tell us who the artist is of these three beautiful landscapes?
Well, my mom was a fine artist and painter, and she passed away from cancer when I was 9. So these are some of the paintings that I have. And this is actually the first time that they've been on view other than in my home or in my sister's home. And yeah, so this is really the root of Hirsch for me, being a kid and, you know, smelling paint and watching her, just like we're doing tonight, start from the blank canvas and build something. Yeah.
And so your mom's maiden name was Hirsch.
Right.
So she's the inspiration for everything that happens through Hirsch.
You know, it's funny. I think sometimes in life you don't know the trail of breadcrumbs is there, and then one day you see it. And after my second cancer diagnosis, I realized how important art was to her while she was sick, because she painted some of these while she was sick. So it dawned on me how powerful art was. And so I think you're right. I think it is definitely the root of what we do now and how community is so important.
I remember you telling me once that when your mom was so sick that she couldn't leave and go to the barn, which is where she did her painting
the Ridgewood
classes.
Art Barn.
This is in New Jersey. That her class came to her and came to your house, and you saw that. You saw how that art and that sense of community kept her going.
Yes.
And that stayed in you, and here you are creating this.
Yeah.
I know this is hard. Your mom died when you were 9 years old. Can you, with me, try to imagine what would your mom say right now if she could be here and see what you've created?
I would imagine that she'd be pleased, and pleased to know that we're creating a community where people have resources and friends and truly a place to express what it's like to go through illness. That's the hardest part. And we all love our families dearly, but often it's people who know firsthand who can understand best. So that's really, I think, what is important about what we do at Hirsch. Thank you, Molly.
Oh, thank you, Louise. These are beautiful.
Yeah. All right, Bill is leading me back. We have Lynn Kuntz is going to come and perform again for us, and we're honored to have her. Lynn, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I gotta get you out of my heart. I gotta get you out of my mind. You never pay my love no rent. All you do is waste my time. It's true, I love you with conviction, but here is your eviction. Sometimes you show up at the end of the month and you want to pay in full. You wine me, you dine me, then you try to feed me your bowl. I gotta get you out of my heart. I gotta get you out of my mind. You never pay my love no rent. All you do is waste my time. It's true, I loved you like an addiction, but here is your eviction. Sometimes it's sure I want to try from some of my friends to justify my action. They assure me that you've never been one to show me satisfaction. You wanna play Chinese fire drill, hoping I won't track you down. Your period of grace has ended. It's time to get you out of this town. I wanna get you out of my heart. I wanna get you out of my mind. You never pay my love no rent. All you do is waste my time. It's true, I loved you like an affliction, but here is your eviction. Yeah, baby, I made my decision. Here is your eviction.
Louise, this is the one. Thank you so much for Lynn Kuntz.
Yes.
This was the first piece that I bid on, and you outbid me.
I had to.
That's
I heard
not
you bid
fair.
on. You told me. And I went, well, Lori's a dear friend.
She hung half the show. She and Jack
She
put it
did.
together, and I love these
And
pieces.
she staged every tabletop item.
Wow.
Lori Key is so talented in so many ways, and we're
Yep.
fortunate to have her with us.
Is Lisa Woods, Tom Woods?
That's correct. And
Wow.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ashley Venori, great
Yep,
pieces here. I love this section.
absolutely.
There's wonderful art
Controne.
here on these walls. Jerry Goodnight with the
Yep.
dancer.
Turn around. We have a really great piece by Henry Link.
Oh, I saw
at
this.
The
It's
top.
fabulous.
Yeah, Henry is a just fantastic painter, and he does these
Number
scenes, these
101.
landscapes that are really sought after. I love them.
And these-
And
I love the wave.
yes, Julie Dameron's piece is great.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we have another video queued up of,
okay.
of more of our board members, participants, sponsors, that sort of thing.
Yes.
And I'd like to roll to that.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and talk about sponsors for a second, okay?
Super.
So why don't we take that video right now?
I found Hirsch through Moses Cone. So they give you the binder, but Hirsch had a little trifold pamphlet in there. And I was thinking, I saw your question, and I was trying to think why it struck me as something I wanted to do. But it just seemed like an interesting way to figure it out. I mean, at that point, you really are just trying to figure it out. And the pamphlet was well written, it was inviting, and I just thought, yes, let me give this a try.
Hirsch is special. And it's special not because of just what it does for people and in cancer. It's special because I get to see a lot of nonprofits, but I rarely see nonprofits that work together and make a difference, not just with their clients, but make a difference in the community as Hirsch does.
You want to give to everything, you really do. And Hirsch just seemed to be something that extended our relationship with our patients, because just about everyone who's had cancer in the Guilford County area has been imaged at one of our outpatient facilities. So this was a way to kind of hold on to those patients, give something else for them to do to help them through their troubled times and their worry and their concern with their future. And when Louise told us about the art, you know, and we made that connection and saw how much good that did for the whole community, we were on board.
And when an event is going on, which is usually a class, it is like the showstopper, because I can explain what you all do. I can explain how they gather and how they bring in the teachers, and it's just like magical, because everybody is in awe, especially those who don't know about it. it's a cool feature for me on my tour, because I always want to, even if you're not there or nothing else, I love to stop there because, you know, I can explain it, give them a pamphlet, and kind of say this is one of our special tenants, and it really works well. So, I mean, you feel the excitement and the energy in there. It's just really a positive.
I love Hirsch because my family has been deeply touched by cancer. We have a cancer survivor, and we have my father who passed. And so I have found art to be very healing for me and for my mother, who now is able to participate in some of these classes because of Zoom. And so it's just to see her in some of these classes is very special to me as well. So I love Hirsch.
Well, there's so many things that I really love about Hirsch. The first thing that comes to mind, I think, has to be community. It is just an amazing group of mostly women in my classes, and you know, I've learned so many lessons from them. Their courage and their attitude with what they're going through is absolutely amazing.
How can you say no to this amazing program and the impact that it's bringing to our community? So there is no, you know, even a question. You know, it's more, how can we get more people involved? How can we get more programs involved? Serving the families, the patients, the families, the survivors, everybody. They need us. So we all have to come together and make sure that we are providing support.
It has grown to encompass more. And one of the big things that I appreciate about Hirsch is it's not just for patients or survivors. Hirsch also attends to caretakers, and caretakers are frequently just left behind. There's nothing during the crisis, and there's nothing after. So those are things that I value and appreciate about Hirsch.
You want to be involved with an organization like that, an organization that works hard and keeps their patients and their clients in the uppermost of their mind. You know, when they keep them first, that means they'll always be successful. And I just want people, foundations, donors, potential donors, just to know you could not find a better run organization than the Hirsch Wellness Network. It's remarkable.
Hi friends, we're back, and I am with Valerie Fields. And Valerie, I love Valerie. Valerie has been involved with Hirsch since 2010, and we were just reminiscing about how we had a basket weaving class back then, and Valerie came with her daughter, who at the time was 16.
Correct.
And I was asking Valerie, because she came to that Hirsch workshop after having had surgery, but she hadn't started treatment, and I was so curious as to what, you know, it takes courage sometimes to join the club that you didn't want to join to start with. And so I was asking her, what got you thinking you needed to do this, to get something creative and to express yourself?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it since the first interviews with Molly. And I remember you get the binder, and there's tons of information.
Right.
A lot of information about if the chemo kills you, this is what you're supposed to do, or if it's trying to kill you while you're at home. So I was really turned off by that, because that's kind of scary.
Right.
You know, you realize you're getting ready to take medicine that is going to cause you to be very sick.
Correct.
And then the little trifold of Hirsch was in there, and it was colorful. I think the mission statement was very inviting.
Aww.
And it was just a different way of dealing. It was more of a kind of active way of dealing with the situation.
Right.
And I think
something
that's
positive that you could do for yourself.
Right. Instead of being, everything at that point feels so passive.
Right.
You lose control of your body. Everybody's
your
telling
hair
you
falls out.
Yeah, when people are telling you what's going to happen to your body, and Hirsch was like the one thing that you had some control over. I think that probably was the most appealing thing. And my daughter's artistic. I knew being a teenager, she probably needed some help, you know, processing what was going on. Yeah.
Sure.
And it was just very engaging. It's very physical and engaging, some of the art projects, which was very nice.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it started.
Well, you're one of those people who I'm going to ask if you knew you were an artist already, because you are so talented. Everything I've seen you make is incredible. Did you do
You're
art?
too kind.
No, I don't say that. Well, I do say it about a lot of people, but I have witnessed that in you, Valerie. So, did you do art before?
I did not.
You did not?
Not at all.
Amazing.
My mother was creative. Claire's creative. My sister's an artist. I've got cousins who are artists. No, I'm a scientist.
She's a physician,
Yep,
doctor.
I appreciate art. I think art is beautiful. It takes
But
you
you know,
places.
everybody has, I know I get off on my thing here, but everyone has this talent. They have the ability inside them. It is within each person to tap into, whether it's cooking or whether it's gardening or drawing or photography or some of the wellness classes that we have. It's movement.
I think a significant credit has to go to the artist
Yeah,
who teach
the
the class.
instructors are
The
incredible.
instructors
They
are
are.
amazing.
We're very
because I
fortunate.
heard Molly speaking before, or you were mentioning to Molly
Yeah.
that you come in basically kind of feeling like a blank slate.
You do. You don't really know why you're there. Well, I have nothing to lose. I've heard people say, well, I have to do something. I have to do something to feel better about my situation.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you see other people and you meet people who understand and who are expressing themselves through creativity.
The instructors are magical. I don't know how they do it.
I know.
Because
they
everybody
are.
who comes into class, how many people say, well, I'm not an artist, or I'm not a writer, or I can't write poetry.
Right.
And at the end of the class, they have created something
Right.
really beautiful.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a magical space.
It is a magical space. The creative process truly is a gift.
It is.
So, yeah. Well, you're also a board member.
I
So
am.
tell me about, I know I asked you to become a board member.
And
so
nobody can say no to Louise, so yes.
Well, tell me about that, and now being on the side of growing the organization and being on the events committee and seeing how much we've grown since 2010.
Amazing. The
Yeah.
growth has been amazing.
Yeah.
We've got some amazing board members who
We
have
do.
helped us, and everybody's motivated. Everybody understands why we do what we do.
Right.
I think we have just an amazing organization in this town, which is not in every city.
No,
This
and
is
I
a
think
very
we're
unique thing
finding
in Greensboro.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Being a board member, I guess seeing the other side,
Yeah.
I understand as a board member how important what we do.
Yes.
Getting the right artists, having the program reach out to patients in lots of different ways, and
Right.
caregivers and survivors.
Right.
So I kind of understand both sides.
Yeah.
And being a board member, I can look back and go, someone did this for me.
Right.
When I needed it, there was a board that pulled classes together and brought in
Right.
instructors and allowed me just to walk in the door and sit down for a couple of hours and get
Right.
lost in the project. So
Yeah.
it feels like it's something that, you have to do, return.
Yes.
There's always somebody, unfortunately.
Well, cancer is unfortunately not going away. Treatment is better, and they're coming along with incredible options, and I feel like science has been on my side for sure. So,
Yes.
yeah, I love it.
But it's a wonderful organization. It's exciting. And I think what you say with medicine getting better,
Yes.
we have more survivors.
Oh, yeah.
And you are a survivor for life.
Yes. Well, that is something I thought about today, too, is that when you are diagnosed, it doesn't just affect you and your immediate family, but it becomes part of your history.
Yes.
And it becomes those questions that you get asked when you go to the doctor, and then your kids get asked those questions. And
Correct.
I always like to say, Valerie, that I only look bad on paper.
Exactly.
Because my chart is very thick at this point. And I guess it's not even a chart anymore, it's all digital.
Right.
But,
No,
yeah,
I agree.
so
You go in there
I
and
only
they go,
look
oh,
bad
no,
on paper.
everything's fine. I just had cancer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so.
And I think having someone like you on our board of directors helps to keep the essence of what makes Hirsch so special for people, because you've experienced it and you understand the power of what happens in the classroom for people and the connections that people have to one another.
Yes.
And how people help each other. During COVID, we've had people who have been driving people to appointments.
Right.
So it has definitely become a very powerful community. And our call bank, we have people who call patients to check in on them who are part of the Hirsch network, because people are alone.
Right.
And so we're doing
And cancer can make you feel very alone.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Zoom classes have been amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should speak to that, because we can call out Bill Payne on that. Okay, hold that thought.
All right.
So Emma Millard is here, and they're going to perform next for us some acoustic music. We're excited.
Yes.
Go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
With what?
Looking around, I can see people struggling, but you gotta trust your roots, you know. Well, I thank the river for showing me how to run in the trees that taught me how to grow. See, down here we play the blues a different way. Bring a smile to your face on your worst day. It's the kind of sound that makes you say, hey, hey, well, I ain't heard nothing about no bad news, baby. Well, I'm feeling alright tonight. I've got the cure and it's gonna save me. Take all my wrongs and make them alright. 'Cause I've got the Carolina blues on my side. Nights are cold and the road is so long. Now I burn for a patch of that Wrightsville sand. But I found peace in a James Taylor tune. One thing I'll say is that he understands. See, down here we play the blues a different way. Bring a smile to your face on your worst day. It's the kind of sound that makes you say, hey, well, I ain't got nothing about your bad news, baby. Well, I'm feeling alright tonight. I've got the cure and it's gonna save me. Take out my wrongs and make them alright. 'Cause I've got the Carolina blues on my. Well, I ain't heard nothing about no bad news, baby. Well, I'm feeling alright tonight. I've got the cure and it's gonna save me. Take out my wrongs and make them alright. 'Cause I've got the Carolina blues on my side.
The Ghost of Liberty. Those guys are amazing.
They are great.
Thank you for bringing them in. I know that Emma's a friend of a daughter of a friend of yours?
Yes,
Killer.
the Vogelsinger's.
Woo!
Melissa Vogelsinger, who's a dear friend. Emma is their daughter. And Melissa is a cancer survivor. So that was one of the other reasons I thought Emma might be inspired to come and play for us tonight. So she's got some
fantastic.
pipes.
We'll come
right?
back to her in just a few
Yes.
minutes. I wanted to talk for a second about the sponsors.
Yes.
If you've seen the webpage, you've seen the sponsor page, which is amazing and impressive. We have almost doubled our sponsorship money for this year through the
Absolutely.
response of the community. The folks in the upper level here, the Rodins, the Monets, these people are the people who keep us alive. The O'Keefe sponsors and the Warhol sponsors
All the individual
they're our
people
daily
who
bread.
support us.
It is really remarkable. Thank you to all of these folks.
Absolutely.
I wanted to mention we actually had a call from one of our Warhol sponsors,
Oh.
actually an O'Keefe, Bobby Doolittle,
Yes.
who is a dear friend of ours, and he and Kathy have supported us for years and years and years. He chastised us for not wearing masks. He blasted us. And well said, Bobby. Thank you for that. We're trying to maintain a social distance here. We're trying to do that. Everybody else here is wearing masks, and we
Yeah.
actually, you've got one there, I've
Yeah.
got one here, and when we're not on camera, we put our masks back on
Yeah,
again. So
it's kind of hard
bear
to
with
hear
us.
us when we have a mask
Yeah,
on.
sorry about that. We will do better at social distancing. We know
Yes.
that North Carolina is a stupid hot spot,
Yeah.
as is Washington, D.C., or very small parts of Washington, D.C., but we're not going to talk about that tonight.
No, Bill, we're
no,
not.
we're not going to talk about that. So let's talk about some more art here.
Yes.
Allie Scott, I love the old Hams piece. I
Yeah.
grew up close to there.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to eat there when I was at UNCG.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And there's Will South. He and his wife Sarah Cogswell send their work from Columbia, South Carolina, each
Ooh,
year.
fantastic.
And we'll take a look at some of the jewelry as well because Sarah is a jeweler.
Ooh, okay.
And,
Oh, here's one from Keith.
Keith Buckner, your
My
cousin.
Keith Buckner, still life on a
That's right.
template.
And Mark Kingsley, who I adore. I love his work. It's very illustrative, and I always feel I have several of his pieces in my home, and I never get tired because I just feel like each one has a story in it, and he's really just so talented.
Could I point out this piece of woven wrap from Clara Kelly?
Absolutely.
One of our former board
She's
members, and she
yes.
was here yesterday opening the
Yes.
gallery up for people. This is
It's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
That's
that's a long,
really, really beautiful.
that's
It's
a long
wrap.
piece,
It's
too.
stunning.
Number 310, if you're interested.
Yes,
That's
it's
lovely.
beautiful.
The Don Morgan piece.
Yes. And you know, Don, whether you saw it early on or not, Don created that on his iPad, and we put it to music so that you could see it being
Oh, as he
done
was drawing it,
in,
yes.
it was in, well, I guess fast motion,
Fast-
I would
yes,
say.
yes.
Yeah, and we appreciated him doing that, and it's great. There are two, by the way, there are two prints. They are done by Dalmatian Photo in Greensboro. The prints are super high quality, and they're done on watercolor paper, so they're archival and beautiful, and they're signed by the artist. So there's a number 1 and there's number 2. So we suggest you get those bid on.
Did you see the
Yes.
pieces by Bob Penley, the birds?
You know, Bob Penley is a very special guy. He was at Annie Penn Hospital with his wife while she was having treatment, and one of our artists in residence was doing some art with them while she was there having chemo, and he said, "Oh, you know, I make these wood birds." And so the artist said, "Well, why don't you donate something to the auction?" So last year he donated 2. This year he came and donated 3. They're
3.
incredible. And I know that
Red-breasted nuthatch.
seeing them on the bid
bunting.
site doesn't do them justice, and we took close-ups so people could really see them. They're really just beautiful works of art.
When you said close-ups, it reminded me. Can I do a shout-out to Julie Knight Photography, who
Oh, my
photographed
goodness.
every one of these pieces? Remarkable.
Oh, Julie worked for about 2 weeks and shot multiple images and really did an incredible job. Yes, let's
Yeah.
thank her for that.
I saw this piece delivered by Marianne
Yes, Marianne
DiNapoli.
Milet.
Thank you. It's remarkable.
Yes, Marianne is a multimedia artist. She lives in Winston-Salem when she's not in Banner Elk with her husband Tom. And a lot of Marianne's work has dancer motifs in it. She's also a great musician. And
I didn't know that.
That's called
Ooh.
Stick It to Cancer. And of course it's made with sticks. And I think, you know, seeing it, seeing it in motion like it is. When we took it out of the box, I wasn't quite sure, and seeing it photographed, I understand it. It's really, really interesting.
Remarkable stuff.
I know.
John, where are we going next? Well, you know, you were just talking to Jerry, our treasurer.
Yes. I think we're down to 15 pieces that are remaining without bids, and we would love to have the auction wrap up at 8 o'clock and know every work of art has a home, or every experience. You know, we haven't talked about those items, Bill, on the bid site that were donated by local groups and or the Pay It Forward program that we did with restaurants.
Right.
So we decided that each year, while we ask restaurants to donate gift cards, this year we did not. We took some of the sponsor money that we had dog-eared, and we went and bought gift cards from the restaurants so that we were supporting them, and now you can support us. And I saw this morning that a lot of the bids were above the cost of
Yes.
the
That's
gift
perfect.
card.
The
And
restaurant
six-
friends are where
Oh,
they're
my
suffering,
goodness.
so helping them out
And
is a great thing.
1618 did a delivery of food to people tonight who went to their website and bought the Art Lives Here menu items. And
Fantastic.
they also catered the event for our crew tonight, so
Yeah.
we're delighted about that.
That's some of the best food. Tech guys, how was the lunch? How was the dinner? We get
Thumbs
thumbs up from
We're
everybody.
seeing a lot of thumbs up. Of course it's thumbs up.
1618, well, yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Fantastic stuff. We have a video coming up, John, I think. What's up? Let me talk about that. That's one of our recorded pieces from our board members, I believe. Yeah. So we should roll to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to stay on schedule here and maintain social distance. Thank you, Bobby.
We're working on it. We're ready. As soon as we wrap, we put our mask
That's
on.
right. So we're going to roll back to that video number 3, which we collected over the last couple of weeks from our board members, sponsors, participants, and
Can we talk about that real quick?
Sure.
Ann Carriall, who is a dear friend of Hirsch, hosted these video interviews at her home here in Greensboro.
lovely garden.
Graciously, and your beautiful wife Joanne was craft services and made food for everyone that evening.
Yep.
And that was about 16 people who came over the course of 2 days, 2 evenings that is, to share stories with Molly Holly, who interviewed them, about art, about healing, about wellness, about their own personal stories. And I think there's some really profound things being shared. And it speaks to, I think, generally what's going on with cancer is it affects everyone.
Yeah, it really does. Let's roll to that video now.
Okay.
Eric, over to you.
You come to the classroom and it's like you are immediately welcomed. It's friendly, it's warm, without lots of questions about your own experience. On the other side of that, if you want to talk, people are ready and available. But there's a quality to everything that Hirsch does, and there's also a stability to it. So it's been around a long time. It has definitely evolved with time. It has grown to encompass more. And one of the big things that I appreciate about Hirsch is it's not just for patients or survivors. Hirsch also attends to caretakers, and caretakers are frequently just left behind. There's nothing during the crisis, and there's nothing after. So those are things that I value and appreciate about Hirsch.
Yeah.
I feel a good support among the people attending and the instructors. There's a welcoming vibe always. We all come from different experiences. Some people are currently going through a cancer experience. Some people want to share about that, and I always feel in that environment they're very welcome to do that. There's always an embrace if someone wants to talk about what they're going through. I have always felt that they were felt very comfortable doing that in that environment, which is great. The main thing is a real sense of welcome and a real sense of openness, that you feel like it's a place where you can feel cared for.
There's this camaraderie that is there, and there's not a competitive spirit. I don't know, but I've been in some other art classes before, and sometimes there's that little competitive edge that exists. And in a Hirsch class, everybody is a cheerleader for everybody, and it's just the peace and just the support that the class members give one another. I think that's what really sets it apart.
And I really like when I first start classes to sort of have people centered. It's a way to have them come down and hopefully leave outside whatever they may have brought with them. And so that day, I actually had people take out a scrap of paper, and I said, I want you to write down how you're feeling today. And just, keep it with you. We went through all of our different activities, and at the end, I asked them to pull out that piece of paper again and write down how they were feeling at that point. And if it was the same, that's fine. But if they felt different, to write that down and then reflect on what had happened in the class that may make them feel differently. And after the class, one young lady came up to me and she handed me the piece of paper, and it said overwhelmed, and then it said relaxed. And so I handed it back to her and I said, that's great. I want you to just think about what we did today. And when you start to feel overwhelmed, you know, go through that again. And so I handed it back to her and she gave it back to me and she goes, no, I really want you to have this. I want you to know how much this meant to me. And so there are moments like that that you're just, wow, it makes it all really worthwhile.
I think what I'm always blown away with is the energy, the ability to focus, to work, to create, and I'm always blown away with the end products that they do for me. So I learn a lot from them. And they're just really courageous.
I feel that the unity of these groups, it's magical. It's what Hirsch is bringing to everyone. It's self-confidence, it's trust, it's strength, it's power, it's I can do it, I look great, I am worth it. And they're fighting every single day for their lives, for that next day, to see their kids grow, to see their grandchildren. So it's, yeah, I think, you know, like the only thing that we're providing is a venue, but it's not us, it's them, what they're doing.
There are people who might hesitate to come to Hirsch because of these reasons. Well, I'm on my 3rd round. Nobody wants me round. We want you around. There is a place for everyone, and it does not matter if you are a survivor who is continuing treatment or if you have been re-diagnosed or whatever the situation is. If you are involved in a cancer situation in any way, and it doesn't really matter what that process is or your age. We have all ages, unfortunately, from early 20s to way older. Hirsch is for all. Hirsch is for the community, by the community, and about the community.
And we're back in the gallery again. Yeah, thanks for wearing your mask going out and taking it off here.
Rushing back to get to Bill to continue the conversation.
This is one of my favorite corners of all of the art. It's got Bob Norbrush's piece here, one of our instructors.
He's a rock star.
He is a rock star, and I love this. I was just talking to Valerie a second ago, and she said, I wonder if I need another one. I said, how many do you have? And she said, about 5. And I said, hell yeah, you definitely need one.
That's a little scary, Valerie. I'm worried that you might be stalking Bob now.
And on the table in front of us here are a lot of the smaller pieces that you don't see unless you really carefully scroll through. I love this particular necklace, number 607 by Linda Smith Fields.
Yes,
that is
it's
lovely.
great. Yeah.
Really pretty pieces.
Beautiful.
The etched bookmarks here,
Yes.
these are copper.
Melissa Blackburn. She does beautiful copper and enameled pieces, and she does glass, fused glass, and the bunny.
Here's a Leanne
the
Pizio
air
piece. I didn't see that
hugs.
one before. Ooh,
Yes,
nice.
Air Hug Me.
And another Melissa Blackburn.
Yes,
Gosh.
she is a generous
Look at this.
donating artist
May I pick this
each
up?
year. Sure.
Manning, can you zip that? Wow. Gorgeous stuff, gorgeous stuff. That's number 603.
And Sarah Cogswell piece is one to look at. She hand ties that chain. It's all done with silk, and it's really exquisite. And this is Sarah Cogswell. She's married to Will South, and as I said earlier, they mail pieces to us from Columbia, South Carolina. Just beautiful.
Fantastic. That one's
Yes,
that
and
piece
this is
wanting to
another
dive.
UNCG artist. This is Audrey Sage. These are block prints. There's another one over here.
On the far side.
She is. She's a preservationist at the UNCG library, so she runs that department that preserves all the books.
Tell me about Carol and Mac Chambers, this big piece of fabric here.
Carol Clay is a weaver. She does. She's just does immaculate and incredible work. She's been a production weaver for decades, and she travels all over the country. She does all kinds of shows, and she sells things all around the country, and they're beautiful. They're mohair, they're alpaca, and her color, her sense of color is incredible.
That's
so
gorgeous.
if you get that piece, you will have an heirloom.
Did you
It's
see the piece from
amazing.
James Quinn?
Yes, I bid on it.
James,
and
you're
I
a
got,
rock star, dude.
I got outbid already.
I love that.
Yeah, so hold that up, Bill. So I think that's great. He's a metalsmith. That's in copper. It's all hand
Hammered.
hammered. Thank you. That would be hammered.
That would be hammered. That's amazing. That's
And Mary
wonderful.
Beth Boone. Mary Beth Boone makes
One of our instructors,
these
former
books.
board member, I think.
Mary Beth is one of our instructors, and she carves this wood cover, and this Coptic book is all hand-stitched. She has pieces in collections all over the country and in some library collections. This piece is truly special. It's number 206, and it's worth a look.
Oh, she's got another piece on the wall here,
She
too.
does. She
Right here,
has
number
a
204.
printing press in a building behind her home, and she does these prints.
Did you see the one from Doug Hill?
I did, and I bid on it, and somebody bid against me on that one, too.
It wasn't me, I promise.
I know.
And here's one
And
from
Carol Thompson. Carol Thompson does these tiny books.
Oh,
And
sweet.
I love them because they're little accordion books, so they get tied together. Please be my hands. And she does these original illustrations, and these books are done with color renditions, and they always have a quote in them. They're really beautiful. She
Home
made
is
one
the
for me, and I feel
Home
really
is the
lucky.
starting place of love, hope, and dreams.
I mean, they're really just gorgeous. It's a beautiful little message, and they're beautiful books,
Carol.
exquisitely made.
I think we're supposed to go back and hear more music
Okay.
from Ghost of Liberty.
Okay, wonderful.
I think that's right.
Okay,
Um,
perfect. You're in charge,
everybody
Bill.
wag yes on that? Okay, we're getting a wag yes
We're
on that.
getting a yes,
Eric,
okay.
over to you and on to Ghost of Liberty then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, this train is bound to jump the tracks while the engine pushes forward. The engineer is looking back,
and sometimes it feels like I'll be overtaken. I might lose my nerve, but I dream of your face, and when I awaken, I'm resolved to be the man that you deserve. So I'll carve out a piece of this life, and I will live it. And when I have, I'll be back for your heart, and I will win it. I'll spend each and every day till my days are finished loving you. 'Cause baby, that's what I was born to do. This flame is burned down to the core. Well, there's nothing more than embers now. Still the engine rolls.
And sometimes I feel like I'll be overtaken, and I might lose my nerve. Oh, but I dream of your face, and when I awaken, I'm resolved to be the girl that you deserve. So I'll carve out a piece of this life, and I will live it. And when I have, I'll be back for your heart, and I will win it. I'll spend each and every day till my days are finished loving you. 'Cause baby, that's what I was born to do. Oh, so wait for me. this train is finally back on track.
Fantastic. The Ghost of Liberty, thank you so much. Thanks, folks, for picking that up. That was my first time hearing them, and they're just wonderful. We wanted to do one last check-in with our live art here in the center section of the 1250 building. Ludmilla, you're kind of closing in on it, aren't you? Almost there. So there's just 20 minutes left to bid on this piece of art. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. It's just fabulous, fabulous. Wow, can we close in on this a little bit? I saw you using your spatula a little while ago, doing some touch-up. Your favorite tool. I love this. Ah. So it needs to sit and dry.
Sit and dry for a few days.
Few days. We'll do that here. Yeah. Fantastic, fantastic. So we've got just about 18 minutes left on bidding for this art and for Tom Wood's art. We're going to take a look over here. Tom, how you doing, bud?
I'm getting there.
Fantastic. 18 minutes left. But not it. No, you've got. You can stay as long as you want. They're not going to turn the lights off on
But
you.
you'll be here a week later. But Tom, it's time to go home.
It'll be great.
So what can you tell us? What can you tell us is going on? I see it. I love it. What's your inspiration?
Like I said, it's free association.
Yep.
I did the doodle, and the doodle, I liked what was going on with the doodle, and so I just worked it up into a more finished drawing.
So the hand with the mouth, what does that represent?
I couldn't tell you.
So it's just flowing.
It's just flow.
I love
yeah.
it. I do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I like the little guy with birds coming out of the shrubbery. They're just kind of like, what is going on?
Exactly. That's the sentiment, I mean, and Jack pointed out that I guess this is reminiscent of downtown Greensboro, and this is kind of like there is a piece of that's the firehouse, or
Oh, yeah.
inspired by the firehouse. So I guess I am bringing some of the familiar things. to
Some
it.
memory pieces, some real pieces.
Well,
yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
if I can interpret it for myself, it's kind of like the sirens. If that's the firehouse, the old, you figure there's all kinds of noise coming out of all kinds of places, right? Some mouths and eyeballs and hands, and I get it. It's great.
Wow, fantastic.
My parents would probably would have been pleased to hear that.
Oh, well, your skills are so great. Just the command of the drawing, look at each line. It's like you don't pick up your pen. It's just you can draw these continuous lines. I think about Art Crum, and I think about some of these other folks who know how to draw this way, and you're among them. I mean,
Very flattering, but our Chrome is an inspiration. I was raised in the '60s, and
Yep.
underground comics and pop art and all that were a significant influence. So yes.
thank you.
By the pop I just heard over my shoulder, I think we're ready to go over and hear our last musician, Mr. Jim Ritchie, who is also
yeah.
our sound engineer here and dear friend.
And Jim is a singer-songwriter. He has been writing songs for decades and has had some national and international acclaim with some of his songs being sung by Kenny Rogers and others. So he's a well-kept secret here in Greensboro.
Fantastic.
He is. What a kind, sweet guy.
Let's pitch over to him in just a second.
Okay.
Let me walk
Tom,
that
thank
way
you.
and make sure.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I think we're about ready to go, Mr. Ritchie. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about bidding for just a second because we're 10 minutes down.
Okay, let's separate, Bill. You're too close to me, Bill.
I know. Sorry. The silent auction will close at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And that's just 10 minutes by looking at the clock, 15 minutes from now, give or take. A couple of things that you need to know if you've bid on items. We will take everything out of the gallery where you saw it earlier and where we're going to go back to in just a few minutes. We're going to catalog all of that, bag it, wrap it, put your receipt on it. all of the art will be ready for pickup this coming Friday,
Right,
1
for
week from now.
Right, for 10 days.
For 10 days,
Right.
from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock or something like that?
I believe so. It will
Yeah.
say it on your receipt.
That's right. So if you're in the Greensboro area, you've got 10 days to come by and pick it up. At the end of 10 days, if we freak out, or if you freak out, or if you have to go to Maui for
There's
a
no
vacation
freaking
or something
out.
like that, then we will figure out a way to get it to you, but it will be available for pickup during
And
that
if you
time.
don't live here, make arrangements with
We'll
us,
ship it.
and we
Yeah.
will ship it, and we'll let you know the cost to have it packaged and shipped. So that is not included in the cost of the art. But
Exactly.
yeah, we've got that covered.
Are we going to have a chance to go back down and look at art for one more
I
minute?
think we
after-
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good, good, good.
absolutely.
We'll roll that way in a second, and let's see if we have guitars there. I'm
It sounds
hearing
like Jim
guitars.
is
It
just
sounds
about
like
ready.
that. Yeah.
He's got it.
Okay, we're going to go over to Jim
Wonderful.
Ritchie. Thanks. We're going to go to Jim Ritchie in just a second. Okay.
Whatever Eric says happens.
Keep
okay.
talking. Okay.
All right.
That's all right.
Well, Bill,
I love this.
so
This is like real stuff.
it is real, Bill. So of the pieces that you bid on, what is the one that you hope that you get?
I'm going to go back and outbid you on the Laurie Key Green Meadows piece.
Rude.
I know, but I'm going to do it anyway. And Joanne said I couldn't bring any more art home. Our walls are stacked to the ceiling. But
There's always more room.
I know. Okay, now I think we're going to go to
We
a song by
ready?
Jim Ritchie. Great.
We're doing 3:45s, 15 minutes in between each set, and just to sit around and visit. You have a few beers, you probably run overtime. There's more secure ways to make your living, but no more sure way to get what you're giving right back than when people are laughing and dancing in line. Well, this bar's okay, they got lots of cold beers, pretty civilized, not too many fights here, except on ladies' night and New Year's Eve. And the people are friendly, don't get too rowdy till you sing Hank Williams, and then boy howdy, they cut loose and whistle and holler like you wouldn't believe. Well, there's cheap motel rooms to get to a fella, cause the bedspread's orange and the telephone's yellow, and the walls are green, the carpet's a deep sea blue. Yeah, the bathroom's pink, the curtains are pasty, and the sheets are striped. That'll make you crazy. Somebody's colorblind here, wish I was too. We're doing 3:45s, we used to do 4, but we don't have to do that no more, unless we go to West Texas or Wichita Falls. Then we play all night and get real crazy, drinking peppermint schnapps till it all gets hazy, and watch them cowboys bouncing off of the walls. How about them cowboys? We're doing 3:45s, 15 minutes in between each set, and just to sit around and visit, and you have a few beers, probably run overtime. Yeah, there's more secure ways to make your living, but there's no more sure way to get what you're giving right back when people are laughing and are dancing in line. Yeah, it makes me feel good to see the people all dancing in line. Whoa, it makes me feel good. Yeah, it makes me feel good. Oh, it makes me feel good to see the people all have a good time.
I love love his music.
I do
Golly,
too.
fantastic
I
stuff.
do too.
We're back in the gallery for just one quick last swing. We've got about 10 minutes left on the bid.
Just about.
Louise, I wanted to talk about Dan Campbell's piece
Yes.
here on the wall. Tell us a little bit about that and how we came to own a Dan Campbell for auction.
Dan is a North Carolina artist, and he was delighted to work with us, and he created this piece especially for the event. He started working on it in September, and he documented the process of making this piece. And that has been shown on Facebook, and we've done some e-blasts with it. And
I had a great interview
you
with
should
him.
check out his
Super guy.
website at Dan Campbell. And this is just beautiful. And the title of it is called Becoming. And
Dan came
the
to us
colors
through
are great.
Kateri, one of our newer
Yes.
board members, who was a
Yes.
friend of Dan's and brought him to us.
Kateri Woodrum is one of our board members, and she couldn't be with us tonight, but she was the CFO of the North Carolina Museum of Art for about 15 years, and she is just a great person and a great support, and knows a lot of artists who want to support our work.
Yep. Let me talk for a second about Phyllis Sharp's
Yes.
Anticipation, number 141. Another
Yes.
beautiful landscape here, waterscape, really one of my
That's
favorites
great.
here.
And Phyllis is an artist here at Revolution Mill, so anytime that you want to come and visit Phyllis and see more of her work, I highly suggest that you do.
That's
Make
right, her
an
gallery's
appointment.
right across the hall
She
from
is
our
the
office.
galleries up front, the 1250 building, first floor.
Can we walk around and look at some of the
Sure,
photographs that Alex and other
absolutely.
folks have been?
Sure.
Come on with us, Manning. We'll see what's over here.
Okay, I'm going to start with one of my favorite things on this wall.
Please.
And it's because I went to UNCG, and I remember this telephone.
Okay.
So up here is Diane Murray, and she's a photographer. And this piece is called We Are All Connected. And that was a payphone on Tate Street.
Come on.
It's a photo of the payphone, and it has, there's WUAG, that was the it still is the UNCG radio
You know, I was a
station.
program manager there 100 years ago.
And there's a sticky note on there that says, the only thing that separates us is how we think about things. We're all connected.
I love it.
I love it, too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you see this piece by Alex?
Absolutely.
Alex Forsyth is one of the preeminent photographers in Greensboro. This is Inner Mongolian Dance Troupe, and I think this was part of the folk festival
I
from
think it
last
was
year.
too. He
Fantastic
has
stuff.
thousands of photos of musicians and bands that he's been doing for
How about the one
probably
from Bruce
40
Springsteen right
years.
here?
There's Bruce and Clarence Clemens, love it. And Kevin Rattan.
I love this. Yeah.
Well, get your phone out and bid on
Well, I
it,
can do it.
Bill.
I only got a few minutes to
I
go.
think you need to take a break and get that in there. Kevin is an amazing artist. He's had a faux painting business for years that has taken him all over the world doing his work and his paintings in people's homes in different places. And he has been doing these more impressionistic pieces, and they're great. He has 3 in this show. Here's another one. I love that one with the gold, that has gold leaf on it. And there's a third piece that is behind us. It's much larger. And we can
that's
go
his
over
too.
there and look
Yeah.
at those pieces
We'll
as
come
well.
back to that in just a
Okay.
second.
Super.
Eric, if you're hearing this, I think it's time to go quickly and catch Jim Ritchie in his last tune for us.
Okay. And we'll talk about Robert Wagner as well when we come back.
Okay. And we got just a few minutes. Get those bids going.
All right, thank you. Sounds great.
Up one hill and down another, side by side or single file. Take one trail and leave the other, so it goes mile after mile. Good companions trust each other, even when they're lost at night. One companion reads the compass while the other holds the light. All alone at every turning, you won't be that way again. I met someone to share the journey, no matter how it curves or bends. trust each other, even when they're lost at night. One companion reads the compass while the other holds the light. Up one hill and down another, side by side of single file. Keep the truth that we discover. It's how it goes mile after mile. Good companions trust each other, even when we're lost at night. One companion reads the compass while the other holds the light.
And we're back for our last 3.5 or 4 minutes here in the gallery. A couple of things. First, if you've bid on items, check your account at the end of the evening in just a few minutes, and you'll have the opportunity to see what you've won. You wanted to talk about the Robert Wagner piece here, which is called Wandering Colors.
Robert is a great woodworker, and he's donated pieces the past few years, and I just think that's lovely. It's just the colors and how he's incorporated those pieces together. Check it out, 505. It's something to definitely
Let's
get a
swing
bid
over here. I
on.
want to show Katani's piece.
And Jerry at our Command Central tonight said we
yes.
have 11 items that need bids, that need to go to homes. So go ahead and go up to the menu, check and see what's still available, and please help us out. Let's honor all of these artists who donated the works. Betsy Silverstein, she is just wonderful, and she has done these nudes for us before, and this one is called Melancholy. And
Fantastic.
yeah, she's great. And then there's Katani.
Cecilia Katani.
Yes, I studied with Katani at UNCG in the ceramics department, and he's a great painter as well as a ceramic artist.
And a continual supporter of us. He's always got something in the
He
show.
is.
Fantastic.
He's in Japan right now.
Oh, is he?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
but that's part of a series that he's done, and you can see it's called Untitled, and there's a number with it, and so there's a series of those, and some lucky bidder will own that because that's a really great
We're
piece.
going to move across.
Okay.
John Rollins.
Yep.
Joyce Black. I love that one. That's very cool.
It is great. Joyce has 2 pieces in the show, and John is a High Point artist who's done very well. He has a gallery, work in a gallery in New York City. He's just a lovely guy.
Another piece by Kevin Rattan.
Yeah,
That's
super.
fabulous.
It is.
Brucey
Holler, this little, they're actually individual pieces.
Okay.
And she is someone from Hilton Head, and she often does large pieces, and these were actually done as part of a larger piece that she cut into smaller sections.
Oh,
so
cool.
they're great. I think they're just super, really great. And Beatrice Shaw.
Beatrice Shaw, always
studio
supporter
artist,
and friend. Yeah.
Beatrice
Fantastic.
is a very, very dear friend and a very talented artist.
I think it's fitting that we close with this photograph by
Yes.
Betsy Horth, who is our chair, our board chair.
She is our board
Thank you, Betsy.
chair.
We love this one. It's a beautiful
Yes.
piece.
Yeah, wonderful.
You know, I step over here.
Okay.
I think we have to say thank you to
Social
our
distance?
incredible production team with
Absolutely.
Broadcast to Go.
Eric
We
Chilton,
have
Broadcast
everybody
to
else
Go.
who's supported us.
Let's thank all of our volunteers who are here. I mean,
Always.
typically at an auction night, we have 50 volunteers, and I tell you, to get this event ready, it took just about that many
The
people.
same number of hours, that's for sure.
It certainly did. All of the work to log in the art and work with the artists and get the photography done so the show looks professional online and looks just as good in person.
I think we're winding down. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for
Thank
supporting
you
us. Our
very,
12th
very
annual.
much.
And I think we're going to let it go from here. Thank you, Louise.
Thank you, Bill. Thank
A
you. Let's
great
put our
night.
masks on right
Yes,
now.
ma'am. All right.
Okay, we can do it for everybody, so you can actually see our lovely custom masks.
For you, Bobby Doolittle. Good night, folks.
For everyone.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Take care.
you.